and this is my 5th grade class. Okay, today class we're going to talk about sequencing using the Tall Tale of Paul Bunyan. A tall tale is a highly exaggerated story with characters who have inhuman abilities and characteristics to them. For example, Paul Bunyan is a giant. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go through a summary of the story, and you're going to pick out 5 main events that occur. And when you're thinking about these main events, you're going to be thinking about big accomplishments. For example, if I was going to do a sequence of my life, it might be elementary school, middle school, high school, and then college. For you 5th graders, it could be learning to walk, learning to ride your bike, anything that you just feel is very big and a big accomplishment in your life. Okay, so as we go through this story, I want you to write on your little notepads that you have some events that you think may occur. All right. Paul Bunyan was a giant from birth. Some say he was born throughout several states because he was so large. He was so big that his parents had to put him in a giant cave and then leave. He was very sad when his parents left, but when he opened his burlap sack, he found a giant axe. Paul grew up to be a lumberjack, but his only friend was his axe. One day, Paul saved a baby ox that had fallen through the ice. The baby ox was as big as a full-grown bull. The two became a team, and he named him Babe. They even fought forest fires together. The two headed Midwest, and as they passed through Arizona, Paul let his axe drag behind him. That's how the Grand Canyon was made. Paul worked in a camp with many men who had large appetites, so Paul built a griddle as big as a football field. Paul and Babe eventually made their way to Alaska. Today, if you are in the woods there, you can still hear Paul's mighty cry. Okay, now class, what do you think some of these main events may be?
Paul's parents left him in a cave.
Very good. We'll stick that up on the board. In no particular order, we're just going to put these up here.
I put Paul made the Grand Canyon.
Very good. All right, Lacey.
He built a griddle as big as a football field.
Very good. That was a big accomplishment. Now, let's think of 2 more big events. There's 2 more main events that occurred during this story. What do you think they might be?
Do we need to write them down?
You can.
Okay.
Or you can just tell me if you'd like. Can you think of any?
Would Paul's parents leaving him in a cave be one, or does she already put that?
Let's see. She already has that one, but it is a main event. Very good.
What about when he pulled that baby ox out of the cave and they became friends?
Very good. Very good. All right. Let's write this down. Pull the baby. Okay. We're going to put that up there. Now can we think of one more main event?
Paul and Babe now live in Alaska in the woods.
Very good. Okay. Now we have our 5 events. Can we determine which order they come in? I want you to pick your favorite event that is up there, and then I want you to think about in which order it may have occurred. I have 1 through 5 up here, and once you pick your favorite event, you're going to come up here and place it in which order you think it may be in.
Can I come down?
Write your event down on the...
Okay.
We're going to take these off. I'll let you look at these 5 events. and you can determine which one is your favorite.
Can I bring it up there?
Yes, you can bring it up there and place it in the place where you think it may be.
I think this is a number 1.
Okay, so Maddie thinks that Paul's parents left him in a cave should be the first event. What do you guys think? Do you think that's right?
I think she's right.
I do.
You can't think of anything else that happened before this?
No.
Very good, class. All right, Shelby.
I think this one goes in the 3rd place.
Paul made the Grand Canyon. Okay, class. Where do you think that should belong? Do you think this is right?
I think that's right.
You do? You can't think of anything else that should go right here? Okay, class. Very good. Lacey, would you like to go?
I did the griddle as big as a football field, and I think it's number 4.
You do? Class, can you think of anything else that should go right here?
I cannot.
No, I think she's right.
Okay.
I have another
Now.
one.
Okay, what's your other one?
Paul pulled the baby ox out of the ice, and the 2 became friends.
Where do you think that should go?
Number 2.
Very good. Maddie's was Paul pulled the baby ox out of the ice, and the 2 became friends.
I have the last one, and it's Paul and Babe now live in Alaska in the woods. I think this was the very last thing.
Okay, Shelby's was Paul and Babe now live in Alaska in the woods. Do we think this is right?
Yes.
Yeah.
You want to go through the story and we'll see if it's right?
Sure.
Okay. Paul's parents left him in the cave. Paul pulled the baby ox out of the ice and the 2 became friends. You think that's right?
Yes.
Okay. And then Paul made the Grand Canyon.
Yes.
Paul built a griddle as big as a football field.
Yes.
And Paul and Babe now live in Alaska in the woods.
Yes.
You think this is right?
Sounds right.
Do you want to go through the story one more time and make sure we have the sequence of events in the correct orders? Okay. Paul Bunyan is a giant from birth. Some say he was born across several states because he was so big. He was so big that his parents had to put him in a giant cave. That was number 1. We got that right. And was very sad when his parents left. But when he opened his burlap sack, he found a giant axe. Paul grew up to be a lumberjack, but his only friend was his axe. One day, Paul saved a baby ox that had fallen through the ice. Very good. That was the second one. The baby ox was as big as a full-grown bull. The 2 became a team. They even fought forest fires together. The 2 headed Midwest, and as they passed through Arizona, Paul let his axe drag behind him. That's how the Grand Canyon was made. Very good. We got that one right, too.
Yay!
Paul worked in a camp with many men who had large appetites. So Paul built a griddle as big as a football field.
Number 4.
Very good, class. Paul and Babe eventually made their way to Alaska. Today, if you are in the woods, you can still hear Paul's mighty cry. And they live in Alaska. Very good. Very good. I believe all of you understand this concept very, very well. Okay. Now what we're going to do is I'm going to pass out these pieces of paper and some crayons, and I want you to, again, think of your favorite event, and I want you to draw pictures about it. And here are some crayons, and I'll give you a couple minutes to do this. We're going to be finishing up these drawings in a couple minutes.
I'm finished.
Okay. Very good. Would you like to show your picture?
Sure. This is what I drew when Paul made the Grand Canyon. There's Paul.
Very good.
There's the Grand Canyons with a couple trees. And there's a sun over here, too.
Okay, now what you're going to do is you're going to flip these over, and I want you to write how you think this activity today may have helped you learn more about sequencing. And then we're going to talk about them. Put your pencils down when you're done. Okay, now does anyone want to share what they learned?
Me.
Okay, Maddie.
I wrote, it taught me a lot about how to put a story in order from start to finish.
Very good. Would anyone else like to share?
I would.
Shelby, okay.
I put that this event made it easier for me to understand and be able to remember the exact order of the story, and also being able to draw the event made it more fun.
Well, thank you for being such good students today.
Thank you.
Thank
I had fun
you.
teaching you all.
So fun.
Yay!